in Rudolf Schindler's name is an honor far beyond anything I could have imagined. And I'm deeply grateful. Innovation, my favorite word. Innovation begins with addressing an unmet need. But that alone lives only on paper. The true value of innovation is measured by how many of our colleagues can use it to help their patients. And with that goal, I'm proud of contributions I have made. LAMS, Lumen Opposing Metal Stent, underwater EMR, US guided coil and glue, and of course, I'm especially proud of LAMS. The goal was simple: to enable any endoscopist trained in EUS to create an internal anastomosis quickly, safely, and reproducibly. But reaching that goal was not simple. It took over a decade. An idea on a napkin is easy. Turning it into a safe and reliable device, that's the hard part. It takes a team. Engineers, entrepreneurs, industry partners, clinicians. And I want to recognize engineers first, because engineers make the imaginable possible, and without them, the ideas would stay on the napkin. Schindler himself worked closely with the engineer Georg Wolf. Schindler had the vision. Wolf built the first semi-flexible endoscope. And entrepreneurs and our industry partners, they deserve recognition. They take the financial risk to bring our visionary ideas to our patients. The clinical investigators and colleagues on the front line dedicate countless hours to test and refine these tools. They democratize innovation. And I'd like to give special thanks to two individuals who are integral to the success of Axios. First, Janet Shaw. Janet worked alongside me in the early development of LAMS, and we wrote the first paper on LAMS together. Thank you, Janet. And Tom DeCimio. My endoscopy nurse for many years at my side, who became later the Axios trainer and helped bring this technology safely to physicians around the world. Which brings me to mentorship. In 2002, I started the International Scholars Program at CPMC, my hospital. And each year, we train a physician from abroad, spending 1 year with us. Seeing these fellows take what they have learned from us back to their home countries, to their patients, has been the greatest reward of my career. Looking back, it's remarkable how this program later aligned with the global launch of Axios. Our former trainees became the natural partners for that outreach. What we passed forward to the next generation was first passed on to us. And I've been fortunate to have had many inspiring mentors, but first at OHSU in Portland, and later in Hamburg, working with NIBS Sandro. And the NIBS unit, innovation was woven into every procedure. We built the tools ourselves, handcrafted for the patient in front of us. And that mindset has stayed with me ever since. Now, my personal path to medicine, well, it actually began with philosophy. I was a philosophy major in college. What is consciousness? Where does it reside? That question followed me into a neuroanatomy lab. And I remember the first time I held a human brain in my hands. It was awe, sheer awe. This 3-pound marvel that had loved, that had dreamt, that had been a person. And around this time, I was deeply influenced by German Romanticism. Goethe, Hegel, Schelling, our heroes, and Rudolf Steiner, another Rudolf Steiner, his holistic view of the human being. And these thinkers taught an appreciation of the inherent intelligence and wisdom of the whole, not dissecting it into parts. And that principle, Steiner's anthroposophic principle, to preserve the body's natural form and function whenever possible, to respect and restore rather than reset and replace. That's what inspired the development of labs. My goal was, and it still is, to preserve the gallbladder. An organ we now understand plays an important role in metabolic health. And that, to me, is the essence of interventional endoscopy. Organ preservation, respect. There's a word in German I've always held dear, and that is Beruf. Beruf translates to occupation or profession. But embedded in that word is Ruf, means call. Your occupation, your profession, is your calling. My destination was my destiny. I didn't choose this path. It chose me. At every turn, every crossroad, there was a calling. Not because I could see where it was going, because an inner voice in me was calling me and saying, this is your calling. And that is divine providence. The dots, looking back, they all connect. And this is the legacy of Rudolf Schindler. Because he too, he had a calling. At a time when the only way to examine the GI tract was through X-ray, he imagined something different by looking directly inside with an endoscope. He asked, what if? He said, yes. When no one else could see where it would lead. Amazing where it has led. So listen to your gut. After all, it's connected to your brain. I sincerely thank ASGE and its leadership for this great honor to be part of Schindler's legacy. Thank you.